Alright, here we are with a divisional round playoff prediction video. I was up and it was late, and I knew I needed to do one of these anyway, so I figured I'd go ahead and do it now. Not going to be a whole lot to go over. Just going to go over the yearly awards, weekly awards if they're doing for the playoffs. I think they do. And then we'll do the predictions for each game. Make sure all of your games are being streamed in the playoffs. Every game should be streamed. There's no excuse for it. Um, Starting next season, we're going to start delving out punishments for not streaming games that are supposed to be streamed. That's just the way it's going to be. So I hope everyone's understanding about that. If you're supposed to stream, you can ask your opponent to stream instead for you. That's okay if they say they will, but if they say they can't or their internet's bad, that's on you to do it, and you need to. That's just part of the deal with being in the league. Make sure you follow the rules and you're following them closely for the playoff games. I hate for you to have a player suspended for your next matchup. That'd be really disappointing. Um, Everybody's doing a pretty good job by getting their games played. Definitely looking forward to the off season. I know a bunch of us are looking to rebound after bad years, so we're going to get into that. But let's go ahead and kick this off. We're going to start off with the weekly awards. We got J.K. Dobbins, the Falcons, ran for 175 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Also a Falcon for the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Keanu Neal, 6 tackles, a pick, and 2 forced fumbles. He's out there landing the big hits on people. A good game for both of them for Atlanta and their shutout. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Jerry and Ely, running back out of Ole Miss for the Ravens. 24 carries, 200 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. I really led the way for the Ravens to get the W over the Dolphins. I didn't do a predictions video last week, but I thought the Dolphins were going to win that game. That's something I thought. I had picked Dolphins to beat the Ravens, Bills to beat the Titans. That didn't happen either. I had picked the Falcons to beat the Saints and the Lions to beat the Eagles. So I went 2 for 4. Anyway, so the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Matt Milano. After moving to middle linebacker, he got 10 tackles, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles. So that move really helped him out. A great game for him. Let's go ahead and look at the yearly award winners. NFL MVP was Zach Evans of the Jets. Eckler and J.K. Dobbins came close. The Coach of the Year was Jay Martin, Jimmy, for the Rams. Excuse me, it's late. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Zach Evans. AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Zach Evans. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Fred Davis II for the Chargers. A lot of XP for him. That's good there. Best QB, Bryce Young. He did pass Tua there in the end. So good job for him there. Best running back, Zach Evans. Best wide receiver, Rondale Moore. Mr. Do-It-All, everything over there. I'm surprised he wasn't throwing passes for the Bengals. Followed by John Ross. Offensive line, Trey Adams had another Charger right behind him, Shane Lemieux. Best D-line, Myles Garrett and K'Lavon Chasen. Best linebacker, Micah Parsons. Another Jet, Terrell Lewis right behind him. Best DB, Jamel Dean, having one of his most successful seasons yet after his trade over to the Buffalo. Had a great year. Followed by Jalen Ramsey. And the all-important kicker, Will Reichard for the Titans. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, J.K. Dobbins, Tariq Cohen. Defense Player of the Year, Anthony Brown. It's like a 76 overall. He's like 31 years old, but he got it done. Had an outstanding year. Won the Defense Player of the Year award. Brian Burns getting all the sacks there. Second. Offensive Rookie of the Year, also with the Lions, Jalen Curry. He was drafted 3rd overall at a 56 overall. Everybody was laughing at him and things like that. But he ended up getting all the way up to a 77 overall, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's fast as fuck. Does a lot of things for them. Defensive Rookie of the Year, the 2nd overall pick, Patrick Queen for the Panthers. A really good year for him, followed by Jalen Jones. Best QB, Jalen Hurts, 1. Followed by Jordan Love. Best running back, J.K. Dobbins, Tariq Cohen. Best wide receiver, OBJ led the league in pretty much all stats. He was the leader there, followed by Jacoby Pinkney. Best O-line, Tyron Smith, followed by Terren Armstead. Fletcher Cox, the ageless wonder, the best D-line, followed by DeMarcus Lawrence. Best linebacker, Brian Burns, followed by Tim Riggins. Best DB, Anthony Brown, followed by Sean Murphy-Bunting. Also had a good year after his trade over. Might have been 2 years ago. And Alger Rosas, I believe he was perfect on the year for the Giants. followed by C.J. Lusk. So that's the yearly awards. Pop on over real quick. We'll just look at the who led some major stats. Only one QB threw for more than 4,000 yards. That's insane. It's Tua Tagovailoa. Threw for 35 touchdowns. Most touchdowns was by Bryce Young through 45. Most picks, 44 by Kyler Murray. Jacob Eason with 43. Zach Gruber 42. Rushing had three 2,000-yard backs. Zach Evans, Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler. Had some guys get close in there. Touchdowns, that's 30 for Zach Evans, 27 for Dobbins. Numbers are insane. Rushing fumbles, Justin Fields led the way with 10 fumbles. Donnelly had 9. Receiving, OBJ led in receptions by 3. He had 86 receptions. Also led in yards, led by 300 yards, 1,847 yards. Did not lead in touchdowns. Jalen McGraw led in touchdowns with 18. That's a good game for them. A good season for those guys. Best offensive lineman in the league, Logan Stenberg for the Packers. He gave up 0 sacks all year. That's outstanding. Worst, Elliott Reed and Jarrett Patterson, left tackles for the two teams that did not finish very highly with wins. Jalen Smith finished the most tackles with 109. Jermaine Pratt and Deion Jones each with 105. A few other guys got over 100. Tackles for loss, 22 by Terrell Lewis, 21 by Denzel Watson, Jalen Smith. Sacks, 26.5 by Caleb on Jason, 23 by Fletcher Cox, 22.5 by DeMarcus Lawrence and Brian Burns. Interceptions, 17 by Anthony Brown, 13 by Jamel Dean, 11 by Jalen Ramsey. N'Kobe Dean and Jeff Gladney both got 10. Deflections, why not? Marshawn Lattimore at 20. Forced fumbles. Bobby Wagner, he's like 34 now. He had 6 forced fumbles. Safeties, anybody get more than 1? Tim Riggins got 2. Defensive touchdowns, 4 by Anthony Brown. Eddie Jackson, Xavier Howard, and Micah Parsons all had 3. Kicking. Best percentage by someone that didn't miss any kicks. Russ House went 18 of 18, and Record went 13 of 13. Good job, both those guys. Longest field goal in the year, 62 by 3 people: Lambeau, Brandon Ruiz, and Matt Gay. Sure, we'll look at it. Most punts by Jamie Gillen, but let's see here. Average punt, 56.5. Pats, inside the 20. Logan Cook, Sam Martin. Kick returning. Touchdowns for a bunch of different guys. I wonder what the long was. Keon Cross in that 105-yarder. James Cook at 104-yarder. Punt return. Tariq Cohen had 2. Daxton Hill and Jalen Knighton each had 1. Cohen's also longest with 88 yards. Longest average, though, still 35 punt returns. Got 20 yards at the punt return. Insane. But Emmanuel had a 42-yarder. I think that's going to be it for stats. Let me go ahead and get into these predictions. Okay, we got the Ravens versus the Jets. Ravens' first time ever winning his division. Last week he played the Dolphins. Slide back over and see there. He won a hard-fought game, 34-28, in overtime. Actually, he won. 0 turnovers. Wow, yeah, that'll get it done right there. Only won by the Dolphins. Pretty clean game. Was a pick by Jaden Daniels. Pretty good game by Lamar Jackson. 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ely ran for 200. Also 2 scores. Melvin Gordon, 132 and a touchdown. Raheem Jarrett went over 100. On the defensive side of the ball. 37-yard interception. I wonder if it was a pick 6. Well, it's not. These other games. This one was a forced win for the Lions because their game cut out So don't see the stats there. Atlanta blew out the Saints. Um, Jumped out to an early 24-0 lead. Really put it on cruise control in the second half. Played very well. He probably could have won by a lot more than 31. Um, Fromm had an abysmal game. Costello had a really bad game too at 4.7 rating. 41 yards, 3 picks. You got to stop the run. Dobbins ran for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. He held Dalvin Cook in check. No receiver more than 27 yards. Defensive side of the ball, Greg Hall, good game. 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. A few picks by different guys. Nothing all that interesting. Last one, Bills Titans. Buffalo took 14-13 leading at halftime. Couldn't hold on to it in the second half. Both messy game, 3 turnovers each. Lots of picks by the quarterbacks. Michael Jackson plays in the playoff round. He gets 161 yards and a touchdown. Ronald Jones goes for 109. Rashad Penny 3 carries, 0 yards on a score. Receiving, Peoples Jones had 105 and 2 touchdowns. John Ross had 72 yards and a touchdown. Defense side of the ball, Matt Milano, 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss and a sack. 69-yard pick 6 by Byard. I think they were talking about this play. He got caught by Bryce Young. Would have made a big difference in the game. He got caught by the quarterback on the play. They didn't actually get to see it. Anyway, Ravens and Jets. Jets user I don't think he's good as Savon, but still a very good user. The humble beast. Ravens is playing better. Both teams won their divisions. It's going to be an interesting game. I think that Chap could keep close early. Maybe if he can, if the Jets can't really find an answer for Lamar Jackson or the defense, it could be interesting for a little while. But I think the Jets can be able to take this one. It's just about the team overall at some point, I'm gonna go Jets by 17 or 14. I'll go 14. We'll go 28-14. Jets win. We got the Lions at the Rams. Lions finished 12-4. Rams were 16-0. Playing very good. These two teams met week 1. The Rams shut out the Lions 21-0. So definitely has his defense on point. The best defense this year. One of the better ones we've had in the league, period. I think the Rams are going to be able to take care of business here. The Lions have been somewhat sloppy in games against really good opponents with the turnovers and things like that. Not as easy to pick apart the defense in the passing game. I think if he runs the ball, it could be close for most of the game. But I'm going to take the Rams. It won't be a 21-0 shutout, but we'll go 31-14. Rams. 31-14, yeah, I like that. Titans at Chargers. These two teams met. I wonder if I can find it. Probably not. It'd be easier to go look at the game they played. I'm going to go over the team schedule because I know they played. It was an interesting game. Yeah, the Chargers won 23-17. He had 2 pick sixes in the game. Did not play well offensively at all. Barely got over 100 with Eckler. Held Twan's run game in check. 2 pick sixes though, I believe. Yeah, Kenneth Terrell, who's gotten faster since then. So it'll really be about Twan keeping the turnovers down. My prediction for the Super Bowl before the playoffs was Chargers and Rams and LA Bowl. So I'm going to stick with that. Titans have played sloppy when they pass the ball so much. I think that's going to make a difference. I don't think they'll be able to play sloppy with someone who controls the football like the Chargers do. So I'm going to say Chargers take the victory here. I don't think it'll be no 2 pick 6 nonsense, but I think they'll have somewhat better success on offense. Could be a pretty low scoring game as well. So I'm going to go 21-17 Chargers. 21-17. Falcons, Giants, these two teams also played in a really interesting game at some point during the season. One of, I believe Noob's actually only regular loss. He had a forced loss, I know. He had his only loss, game he lost, 22-21 to the Giants. At the end. Giants threw a touchdown to Pinckney, I believe, with like 40 seconds left in the game. Right after Falcons had scored, thought the game was over. A long touchdown pass to Pinckney wins the game. Yeah, he had a 75-yard touchdown there at the end. Got him the victory. So, I know the Falcons are looking to rebound. They're playing, I think this is the best Atlanta team they've had in this league, in this Madden. Um, Certainly the best on defense. I think that the Falcons are going to win. I don't think this one's going to be relatively all that close, to be honest with you, either. Um, I think that it's going to be easier to stop Peso than it will be to stop ATL on the offense. So I'm going to go. Falcons 21 to 21 to 10. 21 to 10. Yeah, I'm going to take Falcons. Um, so that's going to be the playoff predictions. It's not too much to go over right now. Gonna do another one next week. Hope to get something else in here. It's just a spontaneous last second one I decided to do. Make sure you get your games played. Make sure you stream the games that are supposed to be streamed. And everybody have a good day.